Hi guys, today in this video we're going to be covering Luna. I know you've seen a lot of news about it, but this one is particularly important because we should understand, should we buy this dip or should we skip on it, right? So let's go over a few things, right? So if you're kind of new to what's going on, you're just picking up, which I hope you're seriously not. Terra Luna has actually lost all value. It's practically a penny token and depegged and unstable, right? And that's just like USD Terra right now. So it's around 99.9% of its value in around 3 days, which is very, very huge. Now, it was trading around $118 last month, and actually was like super proud to be the eighth largest crypto token. And the worst of the day actually happened on Thursday when it fell down to around 9 cents, which, is rather interesting because the token actually seen that maximum in the last 3 or 4 days. Now, the value of this dwindled to around 80 bucks to fall out to just a few cents, and now it's even less as we're speaking. We're talking about 0.0047 to the US dollar. Now, this is really huge for this because now it's created such a huge FOMO, and there's a lot of guys that I see nonstop, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to buy Luna. I'm going to buy right now because I want to be a millionaire." So this huge FOMO is really causing havoc at this point. And we'll kind of go over really what happened. Of course, we all know that the whales kind of moved, essentially crashing this deal. But is it really the whale's fault that's driving it to this point? We're going to cover that too. Now there is the crypto exchange Geodis, the CEO Vikram. He said that Terra got affected by investors losing confidence in the asset before or after the depeg of this coin. He said, "quote Now Luna, which is used to peg U.S. dollar or the UST at $1 value, lost value as investors dumped that asset quickly." And while its circulating supply was increased from 350 million to 2.5 billion in 3 days. This is all due to help that UST recover that peg. Now, the market cap of Luna actually fell down in millions, so around 300 million. And the volume of Luna token has been pretty impressive because the token's worth 7.75 billion dollars exchange hands within the last 24 to 48 hours. There is a lot of experts going and they're telling, well, now it can grow, but it's going to be some time. And you should keep this. It is not a short coin anymore. It is a long range if you follow this. Let's see. And the CEO, Edu Patel, from Mudrex, said that the crypto market is bearish already, and it might have laid more pressure, leading to the wealth destruction of the USD. Now everyone is getting bullish. A lot of the market experts are going on the future of Luna, and they're all saying that it can recover in the future. But there's some things that should be kind of covered from this, right? Let's see. Shivam Takral said, "quote Like Luna, that will take some time to recover from the shock, and it will be good idea to shift from UST from the algo to fiat backed." And that is good advice. You should shift to the fiat. Participants are showing that to stabilize the ecosystem, that UST needs to actually move towards a $1 peg from its current 55 trade value. But Luna will be distributed in this process. The Luna's unit value will remain modest, right? So if you're sitting back thinking, okay, if we can make it to $10, it's insanely unlikely, and we're talking about years at this point. And we're going to go over all this, so just hang tight with me. The increased supply cap as it gains, they don't understand that investors want to buy Luna before it actually repegs. This is the whole idea. This is what everybody wants to do at this point. But the thing is that you should be extremely careful in this because now it's just going to dip further possibly and hit zero, and we don't know where it's going to go. So let's kind of go over Luna right now on the market, right? So of course we were telling you it's trading around 0.0047, right? And we're gonna look at a couple of the time frames for it as well. But I want to remind you before we really go into this further, if you're trading, you should follow fundamentals. Don't let greed get in your way. And it's very important that you don't follow this, right? So you should understand right now the entire market's in shambles, and we're going to go over this too. And it's a very dangerous time with inflation through the roof. You have food prices, you have the conflict in Ukraine. All of this is really pushing the market. Nobody in the world can tell you that everything's going to be fine. And if they do, they're lying to you. Uh, there's a lot of guys I see that are just filling your ears with bullshit. And I hope you see this because there's a lot of other YouTubers I see. I'm not going to call names, but they love to push stuff that's just not factual or it doesn't even make sense actually. And that's because, well, let's be honest, views, right? So it's views and they want you to be promising, right? And it's clickbait. I'm not here for that. I don't care about that. The whole point of this channel is to really be honest with you, give you a real review, and really share real information. I'll be more negative than positive at any time. You can call me a pessimistic, however you want, but facts are facts. And you should be doing your own research anyways and not following anybody's. I don't care if they've made $20 billion in 24 hours. You should still follow your own advice because at the end of the day, you're paying your bills. All right, so let's take a look. So May 5th, right? Let's call this D-Day for Luna. D-Day for Luna. Let's say it closed at around 81 bucks. After that, on the 6th, 82, I opened at, and then it just completely just started kind of going through. Typically, this little pattern is what is somewhat kind of normal. Typically, I mean, you can see that from the 7th of April, right? Looking at that, it's some kind of normal. But what really happened here was the 9th of May. That was really the downfall of everything. When it opened at 64 bucks, that's when you were sleeping, I was sleeping, and decided that I'm probably going to take a drinking problem at this point. No, leaving, I mean, joking, but let's really look at it, right? Um, I see everywhere people are buying, 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 throwing cash into this hole. That's fine. That's cool. Like, I mean, I've seen people jump in and start buying at 21 bucks. I've seen them jumping in and buying at $1. A close friend of mine, he even bought like a couple of $1,000s worth, uh, right at what 6 cents, when it was right around 6 cents. I'm not knocking that. That's cool. Take advantage of that. Why not? It's a gamble at this point. If you go to a casino, you're doing the same thing. Looking at the daily chart, I mean, it's barely even visible uh, in the last couple of days. What today's the 14th, so we're looking at May the 12th, right? Which kind of closed out at around 70, 80 cents, right? The 13th just completely obliterated, and it's not really doing much, right? So you can't even see it at that point. Luna, I did a video about how Luna was one of those coins that in a very bullish or bearish market, it typically did well, and that's a fact. It did fantastic in the bullish market. But with everything going on, you control the market, and that's the big thing. Most people think, oh, the whales or the government or the feds. No, you do. The market will continue to rise, but when people really start dumping this, even for example, when this happened here on Luna, when this huge sell-off, right? You call it a fraud, call it, well, the Ponzi scheme from BlackRock, call it however you want. Even if it lost 50% from them, 60, you guys as the traders plummeted this. And why that plummeted is because you woke up, you lost 50%, and you freaked out, and you sold. And that's normal. Hey, look, but that's normal. With all of this goes on, this is where greed and any market comes from, is going to drive this to the hole. And this is what happened, essentially. But enough of that. Let's kind of break it down a little bit further from 4 days. Let's go to 4 hours, like what it's been doing here in the last 4 hours, right? The last 4 hours, you can see that it's still like barely hanging in. I mean, I can't even see that, right? This is, and assuming that this is going to be the new support, right? This is going to be the new support right around here. I drew this line just below so you can see it, so you didn't really cover it out. But being the new support, you're hanging on that. If you're following your fundamentals, you know that you should never buy into support or resistance. You should know this if you're in the market. If you don't know this, I recommend you jumping on and taking some quick classes, especially for beginners out here. And that's honestly, I think anybody with any true trading experience would not buy into this right now. They would not. They don't care. They just, even if it's just the principle of just being a normal trader, the only time they would do this is just for a couple of laughs, typically at this point. But I'm not here to make laughs. I'm here to be real with you. Again, that's my whole point. If okay, so we're in support, right? And while we're in support, if you really want some hope, some real hope here, if we're looking at the moving averages, it is separating a little bit. The volume is kind of like fighting back and forth, but there's no strength into it, like zero strength. All of this is like everybody freaking out and just buying. This is all this buying power at this point, right? But here's the big thing that you guys should understand. This buying support is really just going to be shorted out, because just imagine for one moment it goes to a dollar. You guys that are buying like 0.0053 as we speak right now, it's there. If they spend $1,000 in this, they throw $1,000, they're going to sell it out. You know that, right? Because at a dollar, they're going to think that's going to go through. And one big thing about Luna right now is that it's broken all trust. They've lost trust. They didn't have much trust in it before this whole chaotic downward spiral of death that we're experiencing. And now, as we're going forward into this abyss of Terra Luna, it's not only shaking just the Terra blockchain, it's shaking all of the other crypto coins. And because everybody are freaking out, right? So you've seen Bitcoin drop like 50, 40%, 30%. Ethereum drop like 30%. So many different coins was like double digits and high double digits. We're not talking about like 11, 12, 13. We're talking about 30, 40, 50, and Luna dropped 90, over 90, 99 percent. So if you're sitting as an investor, and you are like counting on this, KLC, what's his name? I know he said that he lost like $2.8 million here in Luna, right? He put everything in this. Why would you do that? If you're sitting back, you should ask yourself, why would I put all of my money into one coin? It doesn't even make sense. Like, this is like, look at it as like a kamikaze, self obliterating move to do this. But it is growing. But don't just look at this. And when you're following the fundamentals, use some logic, right? Like when you really think about this, right? So you look, you're checking out like the moving averages, you're checking out the volume, you're seeing everything, right? The MACD. Oh yeah, it's growing, it's getting up. It's okay, cool, cool, cool. And by the way, for all of you guys out there, it's like, hey, like I'm up like 2,000%. Well, that's very easy to do right now, isn't it? Tell me, you're up by like 10 times, when a coin goes up to $50 each, $60 each. Tell me then, brag about that, right? If if you spend like a fraction of a penny on Luna, and it goes up to 1 penny, right? And we're talking about 0.00, and it goes up to like 1 penny, and you're like, oh my god, I'm doing so good. Not really. Let's be honest. So don't want to offend anybody out there, but if you do this, you're a chump, and you're just trying to get bragging rights, which is also going to catch you and set you up for a failure. And you can ask any real trader out there. You can ask, and I'm going to drop names now, right? But you can ask Lark, you can ask Davis, you can ask Alex Becker too. He'll tell you the same. If you're jumping in and you're trying to brag about like 2,000% increase on this like fraction of this penny stock, people are going to laugh at you. So don't do that. But all in all together, people are going to freak out when this goes up to a penny, a dollar, if it just touches the dollar, and it can. And is it going to happen next week? Probably not. Honestly, very highly less than 1%, about the same price, or the same percentages that Luna's sitting as a price. If you are looking at more like a year, that it can touch like a dollar, dollar 20, that's more like a 50-50% chance. If you're thinking it's going to go back to 90, like, you need to have a CAT scan, because it's probably not, unless something really huge happens, not with the market that's going on right now, and it's just not going to get there. If we are looking at everything else, and again, this is only the 4 hour, right? Still kind of hard to tell, but still no movement. The market, and here you go, right? Like if you can follow along here, it looks like it's getting some strength, but at any moment this can freak out. So this is child's play right now, right? Anybody can make a few cents from this, but when it starts to get closer and closer to this dollar range, you're going to see it start to dip. You're going to see it start to fight, and this is really what's going to prolong. And again, it's because of all the people. Right, you're gonna have some hodls there. You're gonna have some people holding, right, like expecting it to go up. You will have those, and honestly, these people will save this coin, but everybody else shorting the hell out of it is just going to push it back down. So don't be surprised. Um, so this is the deal, right? If you're looking for another sign, if I should show you more, this little deal here, the star, uh, you can see that this is also a symbol that is actually going to continue to fall, right? So the 11th, it's just kind of pushing it through. So if you bought like right here, like at $2, all of the signs, this one, all of these, especially this one, especially this monstrosity here, was kind of telling you it was going to continue to dip. If you woke up and you seen this huge one right here, this was your exit point at $30. Take your loss, get out. But the chances are that a lot of people they don't set their stop losses at all. So when you go to bed at night and you don't set a stop loss at some percentage and you're not modest, you're going to lose. It's just going to happen. And that's with any market. I don't care if you're trading with oil. I don't care if you're trading with wheat. If you're in forex or if you're anywhere, Nasdaq. I don't care what you're buying, what you're selling, what you're trading into. If you don't do this, like you're setting yourself up for failure. It's very important to follow some fundamentals. There, you live in an educational world. You live in a place where you have internet. If you're watching this, you have internet. There's no excuse for you not to have some kind of fundamental. And yeah, I'm kind of playing the whole dad like type deal because it's very annoying. Because when people are usually going in here and they're following this fundamental, and you just jump in thinking you're going to be like Elon or Warren Buffett, for example, overnight, and you're just going to wake up and be a billionaire, it doesn't work that way. uh, it's a long process. And because if you say, "Oh, well, this candle's going up," we have three green candles, and you don't understand, well, what this wick means, or if you don't understand at least the triangle side of it, what a resistance are, and trust me, the reason why this is even being spoken about right now is because people truly follow that, uh, and it's killing the market altogether. So nobody wants to work. We want to make money. Of course, who doesn't? Anyways, enough of my belly aching, right? So, looking at the let's go ahead and jump to the 2 hour, right? To kind of give an idea, you can see that even on the 2 hour, it's getting very slim, right? So it looks good for the daily, some kind of. I mean, if you call it looking good, if you look at it for the 4 hours, it looks like some kind of okay, right? But where's the market? What leads it to the day is going to be the hour, right? So the 2 hours here is what you're looking at, and it's getting closer and closer to actually crossing in from underneath. And that is not the best position, right? Now we can kind of come back in a little bit and we'll see where it's going, right? So trading at 0.57 is showing green, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we're kind of coming in. Let's see, what did it do the last 2 hours ago? The high is at 0.005. Let's just make that the low at, well, the same zeros, but three. And so it's still moving in. If we jump into the hour, and this is why I want you to see that it's really not doing much right now, and it's really kind of showing you that it's going to move at a snail pace. We have, mhm, yeah, nothing, right? And it's even lower. God, like, I've never had to do this before. Right. So here we go. Right. You can see it's still getting in and closing in, but still honestly keeping the same deal. This is hours, and you're expecting like for a very, very long time. So if you're asking, should I buy this dip right now or should I skip? What's going to be the future? Yeah, maybe they can save the coin, but being delisted, and I've seen what reports that it's actually being relisted, right? That's a huge flag for you. I'm not trying to be a killjoy, but you should really pay attention to this. If you buy in right now, yeah, why not, right? If you have $1 in your pocket, or if you have a few bucks in your account, why not? If you're just going to throw it away, chances are you're buying Pepsi or a burger at McDonald's, and right. So gamble that chance, of course. But if for those guys that are throwing like $5,000, $10,000 in and thinking they're really going to do, yeah, unless you're going to stay with it, stay out of it at this point, because you're really going to kill a lot of it when they sell at $1, and that's where really what it would be, right? So pay attention to this at that point. So ask yourself that question: if I invest in now and I stay into it, if it goes to $1, what are people going to do? What are the majority of people going to do? Are they going to hold this thinking it's going to go back to 10? Are they going to like sell out and do this to make some quick? Because you have to think, if you have this in your pocket, and as we continue around the world events right now, people don't have money. And so when they start to collect this kind of money, they're going to sell out. And of course, it's going to send it plummeting. So keep that in mind. So buy and sell is up to your decision. I'm staying away from this one personally. In my experience, I'm going to stay out of it. There's other coins that I'm investing in for the long haul. Not a good market right now to be buying in or to really be throwing a whole lot in. Definitely not a market to sell right now, and that's where you never sell in this kind of bear market. And when you the people that do sell, they're freaking out and they're crashing it lower. Anyways, so make this decision on your own. But let's take a look at the market as a whole. The market as a whole, Bitcoin is doing much, much better as far as the percentage wise, right? Down today, 3.28% for the 24-hour, double digits still, but still much better than last week. 18.67. Ethereum's down by 24 for the week. Two and a half, let's just say two and a half, 2.65 for the 24-hour period as well. Cardano, we spoke about that in so many different times. Cardano is a coin that it's slowly dying. Unlike Luna, it just kind of crashed, but it looks like it's going to the same. 50 cents. Even with everything that's going in, if you would think about all of the projects that's being listed, would actually push this before everything, but it's still not holding that weight, which makes me a little bit nervous. Solana trading at 49 bucks, 2.61% down by 38 for the weekly. Dot, I like Dot actually. I like Polkadot down by 25%, and down by 0.77% for the weekly. Doge is actually kind of up a little bit today. Still not the greatest. Still better than Luna. So you probably have a better chance in actually investing in Doge. Unfortunately, Tron is actually doing pretty good. We spoke about Tron a few times before too in other videos. It's down though too pretty deep, but keep an eye on this one. This is another coin if you're looking to invest. 12.14% and 3.84% plus for the 24-hour period. Matic, I'm very disappointed in Matic actually, all in all, but right now it is at 37.24% for the 7-day period and 4.15 down. By the way, these are all down. If you can see, the market is just red and completely trashing out. Terra USD, because everybody's freaking out buying into it, is up 36.57%. So don't really count this number right now, because it's not that it's really pumping. You miss that market. If you bought Terra USD at the beginning of this crash, you probably made some money right now to short this pretty quickly. What else? Yeah, you're not seeing Pancake Swaps down 6%. You have True USD by 0.06 for this as well. The graph, there is just nothing else, and we're in the top 40s. So all of the other coins are actually trashing out right now. So this is the time when, if you are exactly picking up on some of these coins, but you would want to pick up a couple of days after it kind of bounces off support right now. So do that. Terra Luna, yeah, here it is, up 1,000%. Hoorah, right? Hoorah. Whatever. So not that great. We can see XRP still murdered out. Actually, I think if XRP in the future, given that you're kind of going long, XRP would do pretty well to buy in at this price. But I just don't have that at this moment. Let's take a look at XRP really fast, just for you guys. XRP, and we're gonna trade at the dollar. Let's see the US dollar right now. Yeah, look at that. Looks pretty okay for now. Definitely falling out through. It's dipping. It's probably going to dip more. From what I see, it's going to come back down. And if we put our following fundamentals, like everyone should, if we put our, see, fell in through previous, let's just say this next is kind of coming in like right here, right? If this is going to be our next line of support, right around here, this area. Uh, if it doesn't touch this and it kind of starts going back up, it would be a good entry point from here for XRP. But if it starts to kind of really hang low onto the support line, just wait it through right now in this kind of market. So you should be very, very careful right now. Again, this market is something that follow fundamentals. Follow your fundamentals. If you don't know your fundamentals, Google it, reach out. If you guys want to see a video about like really what will save you some money, and I'm telling you, and I'll be completely honest, right? I'm not a big risk taker, right? But if you guys are wanting a video, really what you should follow, what you can follow through, how to really trade safely right now, uh, drop a comment below, and I'll be more than happy to assist you guys. But only if you guys are asking for it. So, with that being said, hit the bell, get your true, honest reviews, get your true analysis, without the BS being fed in your ears. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.